To our quarterly Garrison Town Hall. These town halls remain a key point of communication for the Garrison with the community, both in terms of feedback and questions that we get from the team here, but as well the information that we need to communicate to you. And we got a pretty good lineup today on some good information coming your way. Everything from some of how the local national strikes are impacting our abilities to provide service on the Garrison, how we're managing some of that, construction updates, updates from our mission support partners, some MWR events coming up. And I'd like to, before I get a chance here, to invite General Lalor to come up and make some opening comments. I do want to highlight a very big event for this community, actually for the entire Garrison. And if I could bring up that slide. So we've been working really hard with the district of Baumholder to celebrate two big events that are coming up here for this area. First, 75th anniversary of our partnership with the Germans here in Baumholder. It's really very, very special. One of the longest standing partnerships that still remains. And so the district has asked us to work together and celebrate our 250th birthday here as a nation. We're going to do that 3 to 5 July. And the team's working real hard. We got a joint planning group with the district. They're going to share some of the cost and some of the celebration in the same as we are. Typically, we do our 4th of July celebration here. We're going to move that off installation to the airfield. And the reason that we're doing that is so we can open this up to the public. The Germans often want to come on and celebrate, but we have some force protection requirements that limit that, and we want to open it up to the whole community like Bavaria does and some of the other garrisons do very well. There's no reason why we can't do that here, and it's a special time that we want to share with our host nation. And so think rides like a Festmeister, think food, think music. We got military displays lined up. It's going to be an awesome event. We're putting everything we can from the Garrison into this. We got great support from 16th Sustainment Brigade and 21st TSC on this. So really excited about that. You'll start to see more information flowing about that event. But I wanted to personally highlight that one to you as we're starting to pick up speed here. And with that, I did want to just take a minute here to introduce our commanding general, Major General Michael Lalor. And I know Command Sergeant Major Malave, if you wanted to come, okay. But I've asked the CG to come over, and he's asked to make a few comments to the community here. So, sir, thank you.
That history, like Colonel Higgins said, cannot be understated. This place goes back, like you said, to the early 1950s and that connection. And truly serving here is one of the last, like, I would say, places of, like, kind of how Germany was when if you served here multiple tours years ago. The tightness and closeness down here is not something you see just everywhere, okay? Be thankful that you have that. We live in the KMC, which is a great area. It's great. You can get whatever you need in the KMC, and all of you go in and out of there too, Kaiserslautern military community. But this is special. This is what people come to Germany for. And that connection, you're going to celebrate it coming up here this summer. And you're also going to celebrate here, like Colonel Higgins talked about, America's 250th birthday, right? Give that a hand. There you go, right? And then, you have, the best down here community of between the Garrison, the units who lead here on post, like the 16th and other supporting units. And then you got great leadership here in this community. Mayor Osfasser and just the people you have here are tremendous, like good, salt of the earth people who serve and care about others. So enjoy that very much. And, anybody could spend the Army's, the America's 250th birthday at Ramstein. Anybody could do that, okay? We're going to spend it here outside in the airfield and do something we haven't done here in a while and have a real good time and enjoy each other's company and have a couple days. I mean, we're going to get to celebrate like I said, the German community, and then we're celebrating our birthday as well. So I really, I look forward to being part of that with you all, and I think, like I said, it'll really highlight your place to serve. I do want to thank the Garrison and led by Colonel Higgins and Command Sergeant Major Rivera, Mr. Colbrook, all the team who leads down here is I just want to thank you all for the continued service that you provide to all the families and to all the, all the installation partners here and make a difference. Baumholder, as you know, is changing again over time. It's on the rise here with all the missions you have coming in here. You got new units coming in here. And yes, you're going to have more money coming in here over the next several years, which is good. And you need it, and you deserve it. And I think it'll only improve the quality of life and improve the quality of what we owe and want to make sure we have in place for our families and for our units to train and everything. So, I really appreciate what the Garrison does down here. They punch way above their weight with a huge area, with a huge responsibility here and throughout Rheinland-Pfalz. So please give them all a round of applause for what they do. Thanks. And last, I would say this is, to all of you down here who serve and continue to do what you do, and a lot of them are part of our unit, but you're all part of some larger team here. We really thank you for what you do. And I also would say the other thing is we have things we have to solve down here too. There's challenges that are not simple here based on services, budget, everything else, but there's nothing we can't work through together. So just let's work through it. Let's talk it out if we got any things. But as you're sharing information, if you got challenges, bring them up and let's try and tackle them. Okay? I think nothing like we can't do together, nothing we can't figure through. And sometimes we got to change what we do in the past and innovate. And we do that in all walks of what we're doing in military service. I'd ask you all do it as well here, as well as we all live together and team up. So again, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's good to be down here tonight, and look forward to talking with you all walking around. But thanks again for having me and Command Sergeant Major and our team. And again, we look forward to being part of this now and in the future. And it's going to be a great summer here. All right? Please give everybody a hand. Thanks.
Okay, Garrison update. There's a lot going on in Baumholder. I believe when I was hired, my boss said something about Baumholder. It's a pretty quiet place. There's not a lot going on. That's not true. There's a lot going on. A lot of these things will be covered by the directors as we go through. I'll hit a couple of them. The boss already talked about strikes. The hiring freeze, the Garrison is still feeling some of that. So you may see some of that with limited services where you may be waiting a little longer. We're still able to provide all those services, but sometimes the wait might be a little longer. We're feeling the hiring freeze just like everybody else. Construction. If you've lived on Baumholder more than a few minutes, you've seen the amount of construction that's going on. It affects everything. It affects the traffic. It affects where you're going to park. We'll cover a little bit more of that as we go through the brief. There's a lot of stuff in progress. DPW will go through a little bit more of that. The recent wins, Travis is going to talk about some of those. I'll point out we just got new equipment at the Mountaineer and the Hall of Champions, so I know some of you are very happy to see that. A couple of things here on the bottom. We are working to pave some of the roads. We get just about 1 or 2 ICE comments every week about the potholes in Baumholder. I understand. We are working to fix that. And what I want to talk about here on the bottom is we have 3 open surveys right now. The COLA survey, the OHA survey. We have 4 open surveys. And the CSTA, I can't remember the name of it. Colonel Morgan, can you help me with the name of the CSTA? Do you remember the name, what that acronym stands for? No. Put you on the... Okay, those three surveys are open, and the 4th survey is the tenant satisfaction survey. We have those QR codes also out there on top of the table by the entrance. Thanks, Mark. Okay, next slide. All right, a little bit about what's going on, how we're growing. Baumholder's growing, like General Lalor said. Oh, the arrival of 110 has already started, and over the next few months, you're going to see the growth of about 1,200 people. That includes service members and their families, and a handful of civilians. They'll be moving into Baumholder between now and about the end of the calendar year. With that, the Army has invested about $1.3 billion, and that is not just for SOF, that's for the entire community. That will improve a lot of the infrastructure for everyone in Baumholder. So there's a lot of growth going on. Back to there's a lot of construction going on because that comes with the growth. And a lot of new facilities. And the goal is to successfully station the new unit here while making long-term improvements to the services and infrastructure here at Baumholder. So everything we do in the Garrison is to support the warfighter. That's why we're here. Next slide, please. Okay, go a little bit more on the AFH Tenant Satisfaction Survey. The bottom line is we're listening. This Tenant Satisfaction Survey is how you communicate to us what you want. And the example we're using here is, in a previous survey, tenants talked about playgrounds, landscaping, and parking. We have built 3 new playgrounds. We are going to build more. We talked about landscaping. This is a really cool picture down in the bottom right. That lawnmower can mow between where you're parking and the stairwell housing. That's an improvement because we've had trouble mowing that without damaging your cars. What I would ask you is, if you live in that stairwell housing, don't park with your front bumper hanging over the sidewalk, then that fancy lawnmower can't get in there. So this is a great improvement. I've been here for 3.5 years. Very happy to see how this is going to improve the landscaping around the stairwell housing here on Smith. New playgrounds, here's a picture of one of them. Our tenant satisfaction survey shows that we are on track. We're doing the right thing. The areas that have been renovated and the new housing gets high marks. The people who live in legacy stairwell, they get a few lower marks. But our goal is to either renovate or replace all of those existing legacy homes. So we are moving in the right direction. Please do the tenant satisfaction survey. That gives us the azimuth to continue making improvements for our community members. And I think that's the last slide I got. Paul? Okay, followed by DHR.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Mike Biondo, Director of Human Resources. I want to take this opportunity to talk to you about and share information about voting from overseas for U.S. elections. The very first step, if you haven't already done it, is to go to fvap.gov. All the information is in there about how to register and request an absentee ballot. It gives you a lot of great, there's a user guide in there. It gives you great information about when states, elections are coming up in all different states and U.S. territories. We listed a few of them on the slide, but highly encourage you, if you haven't done this, to register early. And also, if you have any issues, you can get with your voting assistance officer, your unit, or contact the Garrison POC listed on the slide. That's all I have pertaining to voting, and I'll be followed by Travis Munson from DPW.
Good evening. My name is Travis Monson. I'm the Deputy Director for Public Works. And first and foremost, as you see at the top, it says construction updates. Well, the first one on there, the refuse collection. So this is, we just wanted to kind of give a little heads up to the community in terms of what we experienced recently. And you guys may have seen around Post a lot of overflowing dumpsters. That was basically kind of a combination of a whole bunch of factors that hit all at once. The Colonel talked up front about some of the strikes. Rodney talked about the hiring freeze. We do have some personnel shortages that we're working to overcome. At the same time, we have really old equipment. We had 2 trucks that both went out of service at the same time. And so we had no physical way to collect those dumpsters. So we were able to surge personnel and address the issue. We've been able to surge personnel from other shops to help surge and get caught up. We are still facing some ongoing strikes, but we are able to still meet the need. We have the trucks back. They've been repaired. We are working to get new equipment and whatnot. But we just want to make sure that you're tracking that we definitely want to help. We definitely did not want that to be something that the community had to deal with. If anything happens in the future, we will definitely communicate through public affairs, through leadership channels. But know that we are working hard behind the scenes to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And we appreciate your patience and understanding as we work through that issue. Now, in terms of the construction issues, there's one that's coming up. The date has not been set yet, but in conjunction with some of the construction for the soft to Baumholder move, we will be having a commercial TKS network outage that will affect the entire installation. It's going to be sometime during the week of 23 March. It should just last one day, roughly 800 to 1500. We do not know whether or not that's going to affect the cell tower as well. We've heard mixed information that some people say it will, some people say it won't. As of right now, we just know that it will be the commercial network, the TKS network. So internet will be down for that day. Again, once we have that day finalized, we will communicate that as in every way possible to make sure that the community is tracking and aware. And we are sorry that that's an unfortunate necessity to move forward with the construction, but that's one of the facts we're dealing with. Rodney hinted up front about some of the recent wins. The clinic parking lot, that's a huge win. If you saw that beforehand, it was awful. And if you've been over there now, it looks great. We are working hard. Rodney talked about the ice complaints with potholes. We understand there is a lot of paving that needs to be done across Post, and we're working hard to do it. We have a new contract that we put in place to accept and to be able to execute a lot more paving projects more expeditiously and more rapidly. And the community has reached out asking questions about various areas. We are tracking, and as soon as we have the funds available, we will move forward. Rest assured, we want the roads to be fixed just as much as you do. But we're excited, at least for the recent win with the clinic. That was a great project. The PX roof repair. Thanks for your patience as we had some of the roads closed while we went through that. It's great to not have to worry about walking down the aisles when it's raining and see buckets in the aisle from all the leaking. There is a lot of follow-up work that needs to be done internally. We understand that. That's next on our radar. This year, we're also hoping to fund a study to look at a future PX, a possible combined commissary PX in the future. That is going to be several years down the road, even if that does happen. So we are working to make sure that this current PX is as great as it can be in the meantime. So we're excited about the new roof, so it's not going to be leaking all over us when it rains. The playgrounds. This is obviously Rodney talked about the housing satisfaction survey. This was done kind of in basically a direct result of some of the feedback we received. We already have three playgrounds that were opened up. We were waiting on a multipurpose court. So if you remember where the old tennis courts were by the Lagerhof, we now have multipurpose courts that have been put there. There was a little bit of delay from the contractor. They could not put the final layer of material down because of weather. With the recent nice weather we had, they were able to install that. The final inspection is actually happening a week from today. So within about a week, we should be able to have access to those multipurpose courts. So that's another big win. We're excited about that for the community. And we are planning on the next phase of multipurpose courts and playgrounds to be awarded this fiscal year. So more to come, but we're excited about the improvements we've been able to make. With housing projects, there's a lot of construction ongoing. There was a major military construction project to construct a whole new barracks and a whole new parking garage, roughly in the vicinity of where the library is. That was supposed to be awarded previously in a past fiscal year, but the NDAA, when it came out, it erroneously listed Rheinland-Pfalz as the location of where that was supposed to be built, so we were not able to award it. That is being fixed. That is currently being advertised for construction, so we definitely will be excited to move forward with that project when it happens sometime this fiscal year. There's some recent renovations of other barracks. A couple of units just came back online, and we have another 2 to 3 that are going under construction here soon. We've been working closely with the units to make sure that we get folks relocated and that we're communicating those projects. There are also a bunch of right-sizing projects. There's about 8 new units that are going to be going under construction within this fiscal year. We have a package of about 5 of them that should be starting in about June, the June timeframe, and another 3 in roughly September. We will definitely let the community know exactly where that's going to be. There's a lot of construction. We appreciate your understanding and patience as we go through that. But the good news is, as we get some back online, we have had a couple recently. One just that we got back earlier this month that we're in the process of outfitting with furniture and appliances. We have another one that's should be ready in about another month or so, and another unit that's going to be ready in about August. So we are getting, and these are ahead of schedule, ahead of the projected construction schedule. So that's really good news for the community. If you haven't had a chance to see the right-size units, they're very nice. So we're really excited to be able to provide those new units to the community. With that said, with the housing construction mentioned, I want to kind of move to the left. Our housing office desperately needs your participation and your involvement to keep them apprised of what's going on. As some of these units go under construction, if there's still occupants in the building, we may need to relocate them to another area. If they're not going to PCS or if they don't have a DROSA where they're going to move back to the States, please let us know, so we can plan accordingly. Please also, we have received historically very low participation in the sponsorship program, and you're just doing a disservice to your inbound troops, not being more actively engaged in sponsoring them and getting them ready to come. So please communicate with us, let us know so we can help you to make sure that you're prepped and ready for everybody that's coming in and make it a better experience for all involved. Rodney already talked about the housing satisfaction survey, but again, I just want to hammer this again. Please participate. I know it's a long survey. There's a lot of questions that get asked, but it is really the demand signal that we can send up to the Army that we need additional resources to address some of the concerns. And it's directly as a result of the survey that we've been able to make a lot of the improvements that we have made in the past. So please participate. It's going on for about 2 months until the beginning of May. Finally, actually, one last thing, the ARMA, the Army Maintenance Application is what ARMA stands for. It's not a new per se. It's been that way for a couple of months, but the website did change from a .com, armymaintenance.com domain to a army.mil, maintenance.army.mil. So we just want to make sure the community's tracking. But if you use the old digital Garrison app or the new My Army Post app, there is a link directly in those apps that takes you to ARMA. But we're just making sure the community is tracking that website change. And again, we thank you for your patience and understanding. There is a lot going on. By no means is this a comprehensive list of all the construction, but there are closures, there's dust, there's noise, but we really appreciate, we are working hard to make a better quality of life for everyone here. So thank you for your patience and understanding, and we appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, good evening. I'm Chief Robinson, Chief of Police for Baumholder, and representing DES here today. I just have a few topics. The first one is vehicle registration. The first really is, this is for the 110th or south of Baumholder personnel coming to Baumholder from Stuttgart, but really anybody PCS into Baumholder, just like it states, the first thing is changing your APO address. So that's the first for this. So when you change your APO address, that really starts the process, okay? So for vehicle registration, there's really a couple options. The first one is if you're 1 year out, okay, you still have a year left for your vehicle registration. You don't have to renew it. You can keep it as is and no change at all. So you'll get your whatever license plate you had before, and you'll get your BIR license plate. All right, the second one is if you're within 1 year. So if you're within 1 year, you can keep your current expiration date and just pay the $75 registration fee, and you'll get your BIR plate. Or the second option really is to either get a 1 year or 2 year, which is the $45 or $90 registration. Okay, so again, you have to get a new APO address. Once you get your new orders, get your new APO, that's what starts it. A couple of the things that we got going on vehicle registration is Baumholder is using the 2-meter app. Okay, so basically, when you go into Baumholder vehicle registration, there's an app you can scan, okay? So right now, there's a current issue that we're trying to address, which I'll just address it now, because I'm pretty sure it'll be your question, but Wi-Fi. So currently, with the building construction, concrete, just like every other building, you know, you're not getting reception when you scan that 2-meter app, okay? Or QR code. So we are looking into getting Wi-Fi into the building itself, okay? The biggest issue was budget. We figured that out, so now we know who's going to pay for the Wi-Fi in that building, so it'll be easier for people scanning the QR code. The other thing is the 75-day out notice from RMV. So basically, when you're 75 days out from your expiration, they're going to mail you a process where you can do everything through the mail, okay? Now, you have to stay active on this, meaning you still have to get your vehicle inspected, right? So once you inspect your vehicle, you'll scan all the documents and you'll send it to them, and then you can register your vehicle that way, depending on if you want a 1 year or 2 year, but you still have to inspect your vehicle, all right? But you have to stay active on it. Your expiration doesn't change. So if you wait to the last moment on this, it's still expired, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so that's vehicle registration. Move on to the next slide. All right, so the IAX. So really, this is just your passes, all right? So you got your short-term pass, which is the first one, right? This is for your up to 3-day type pass, all right? All you really need is a passport, or if you have a local national guest, you just need their German ID, okay? I would stress, please, please stay with your guest, okay, at all times. Meaning, you know, you're going to shut the house and they can't be released on their own. You still have to escort them off the installation, okay? This has happened too many times where, you know, the guest gets left or it drives off by themselves, you know, they get caught at the gate or wherever they get caught, and now you're reporting the PMO because you're not with your guest, okay? So that's very important with the short term, okay? Long term or the other passes for family members. So you got up to 30 to 90 days, or you can get extended with the ETP for up to 6 months. So this one requires a background check, NCIC background check, flight itinerary, and their passport, okay? And that's for family members or whoever you want it for, unescorted, okay? Now, until that gets approved, all right, for the or for the families and unescorted, until it gets approved, you still have to escort them, okay? Same thing as the short term. Okay, so that's basically on IAX. Now, the right side is the inclement weather. So hopefully in Baumholder we don't see this again, but we might. So basically these are the way we notify you for inclement weather. The first one, alert, is really, it's a mass warning notification system. So any emergency, you will receive an alert message, okay? For inclement weather and road conditions, you'll receive an alert as well. I'm pretty sure everybody's received them this year if you live in Baumholder. Went out multiple times. Now, it'll give you the road status, and it'll also tell you if there are closures and services for the Garrison, okay? So that will go on an alert. The second one, MAPA, that's an app you can download, and it tells you also road conditions. It tells you other things about the Garrison too. Gate closures, there's all kinds of things MAPA does, okay? And then the last one is really the Garrison weather update. So that, you can go onto the site, and you can see the current status of the roads, green, amber, red, and that's basically all that really tells you. And it'll tell you the current temperature and what's affected as well on the website. So yeah, those are the 3 updates. Again, hopefully we don't receive it again, but it is Baumholder. I'll open up to questions at this time. If anybody has any questions for DES or law enforcement? Anything online? No? Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Jason Etchell. I'm the Deputy Director for MWR. I got a lot of information that I'm excited to share with you guys. We'll go on to the first slide here. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but on the right part of the slide, it lists some of our significant events that are coming up. I'll talk a lot about each of those in my following slides, but the one that I wanted to highlight on this slide is that last bullet there. That's our silent car auction. It's going to be the first one that we've done this calendar year. This is something that our auto skills program here in Baumholder does. It was a really popular program last year. We're excited to be able to do it again this year. We've got 13 vehicles that we're expecting to auction off, from several BMWs. There's a VW up there. There's a Mercedes. There's a Chevy pickup truck. And some of these, the bids start as low as $500. So if you're interested in participating in that, all the cars will be parked at our auto skills center here on Smith Barracks. You can put a bid in on one of those, but if you have questions about any of that, our staff is always there to help you through the process. Moving on to the, actually to go back to that slide, I'm sorry, Paul. I just wanted to hit some of those updates on the other half of this slide. Our rec center, this is a really great thing. We've heard a lot of feedback about our rec center wanting expanded hours, expanded hours on Fridays and Saturdays. So Tina and her team down at the rec center looked really hard at this, figured out a way to do it, and starting just this past 20th of February, every Friday and Saturday evening, we're now open there until 2300. So wanted to make sure everybody was tracking that. Also, our Champions American Diner. If you haven't checked that out at our Strikers Bowling Center, they've been open just under a year. When we opened them, two things we really wanted to make sure happened. One was that they stayed open after 1900, and they're doing that. They actually started doing that right out of the gate when they opened. And then the other thing was to be able to deliver. And they started that delivery process actually in December. Wanted to make sure everyone was tracking that they're able to do that now. So encourage you to try that delivery service and let you know what you think about it. Let us know what you think about it. The next bullet there is our Rolling Hills Golf. If you've been up to the driving range, we actually had to close that last week for a very short project, but important project that we're doing. We're extending the fence, the protective fence all along the range there. They've already started that. They're making a lot of great progress, and we're expecting we'll be able to open that driving range before March is out. The next bullet there, if you're registered in CYS, and in particular if you have kids enrolled in our CDCs or our school age program, you should have received a survey in your email specifically getting information about hours of operation. It's been quite a while since we did a survey like this, specifically trying to get some information about hours of operation. But it's important information. We encourage you to take that survey if you've received it, and let us know about our hours of operation so that then we can use that to consider what to do in the future. Last bullet there is our Army Family Action Plan, just another reminder of another way that you can give us feedback about our programs. This is something that's open 24/7, 365 days a year. You can hit that QR code from your sofa in your living room and submit a quality of life issue or concern. What happens with those is our ACS team monitors those entries regularly. They receive them, and then they get them in the hands of the subject matter expert to review and work any kind of recommendations. And then from there, on a quarterly basis, our ACS team meets with the command leadership to review all the issues and get a status of where we're at on working those. So just another way of getting us feedback in addition to ICE that AFAP option is there. Thank you for your patience with me and all that information. I really appreciate it and hope to see you in one of our events coming up in the future.
Hi, I'm Chaplain Ginsberg, Deputy Garrison Chaplain. And first slide is going to show you some of our special services we have and events for the holidays of this quarter. And many of those are over at Ramstein as well. Some are here in Baumholder. And our backup slides have more information on this as well. You can also look for groups like Protestant Women of the Chapel and Club Beyond for youth. And then next slide. These are our services in Baumholder. Regular scheduled services. And the next slide is about our food pantry at Rock Chapel. You could benefit from this on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or contact your unit chaplain for more information if you want to schedule a separate time. And it's a great opportunity to benefit our families who are in need. And thank you very much. But pending questions? All right, thanks.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Alden. I'm the Garrison Safety Manager. These are the things that we do for you in the community. Important to note, if you see something that's unsafe and you are unsure whether it belongs to your unit or your home or someone else for a safety concern, you can always come to me in the Garrison Safety Office right here in the headquarters building, or pass the information to who you find in the headquarters building if I'm out looking at some other safety issue, and I will make sure that the right person that needs to pay attention to it pays attention to it, whether that's getting with your own unit's safety officer or safety manager, or I will have the garrison fix what the garrison's responsible for. Moving on to the next slide. There's an ARAP survey currently available. If anyone would like to take that, that helps me help you better as a safety manager. And also you can make comments to us through ICE. And the next slide. Welcome to Baumholder. If you haven't been here long, you will soon find out how foggy it can be. And I want you to make sure that you're following the right information in driving in fog. First and foremost, of course, slow down. Maintain your proper distance from the vehicle in front of you. Give them a little more distance. And follow the rules of the road for Germany.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mike Leba. I'm with the Logistics Readiness Center, Rheinland-Pfalz. To the right here, this gentleman with the impressive beard is Mr. Charles Walker. One of the functions of your LRC is to support the community shuttle bus. To the right side of the slide is all the stops within Baumholder, with an additional on Wetzlar Housing. On the left-hand side are all the physical locations of those slides, or those stops rather. On the bottom is a link to the shuttle schedules for both Kaiserslautern and Baumholder. It's important to remember that these are all stops. They're all official duty stops. It was the word I was looking for. So we were welcome. Anyone welcome to I guess travel to any of the stops that we have for official duty, and if they're close to a place where for your personal use, you're certainly welcome to use that as well. Another function of the LRC is helping you with your household goods. Whether you're very new to Germany, you can come into the transportation office on Clinic Concern. They'll help you update your points of contact information here. And if you're getting ready to leave Germany, we strongly encourage you to visit that same transportation office. And as soon as you get your travel orders, they'll assist you with setting up the movement of that household good and unaccompanied baggage. Pending any questions, moving on to DoWEA.
Good afternoon. I'm Wanda Bradley. I'm one of the community superintendents for the DoWEA Europe Central. Along with me, we have our two principals, one from Smith Elementary and the other Baumholder Middle High School. I'm just going to go over a couple things, and then I'm going to let them speak about their individual schools. Just some things to put on your on notice is that re-registration is open, and it's really, really important that that every parent or every family re-registers. Even if you're not returning next year, if you would please fill that part out and send that to the school or through the link that is sent out. Our FTEs, or our teacher units, are built on re-registration, and we want to be ready when they come, when the first day of school. We don't want to have teachers incoming. So we are allocated teachers based on our pupil population, or our current population. So please, re-registration is very important. Attendance. I know we all live in beautiful Europe and we want to travel, but coming to school, having your kids at school is very important. If you plan on traveling, or if your children are out of school, please let your school know in plenty of time. And saying that is coming with spring break is coming, March the 27th through April 3rd. If you're planning on taking more time at the beginning or the end, please let the school know. Accelerated withdrawal. I can't believe it, we're talking about the end of the school year already, but accelerated withdrawal is May 8th, and that is you have to have orders in hand. And May 8th is the day that you have to come to school all day in order to qualify for accelerated withdrawal. It's not a time to leave early. If you're PCSing and you're leaving early and you don't have to be there till August, but you want to take a family trip or something of that nature, that does not qualify as accelerated withdrawal. Accelerated withdrawal is that before the end of the school year, between May 8th and June, I don't know, 18th or 10th, you have to be in your next duty station, so we can work through that. And then finally, for me, April is the month of the military child. We're going to celebrate. We celebrate our children every day, but we're going to especially celebrate them in the month of April. We're wearing purple every Wednesday, and April 15th is National Purple Up Day, so we'll definitely be doing celebrating.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Chris Morgan, and I'm the commander and MTF director of the Baumholder Army Health Clinic. Kind of before I begin, I want to kind of address and recognize that there's been some recent changes to some medical services that definitely have generated some questions and concerns amongst our community. We hear you, and I just wanted to say that at the end of the day, the well-being of our soldiers, their family members, and all of our beneficiaries is not only my top priority, but it is my boss, Colonel Stewart at Launchstool, and then the Commanding General of Medical Readiness Command Europe, Brigadier General Giroux. That is our #1 top priority. But everyone is aware that there are some world events that are occurring right now, and our small clinic is not immune to that. So we're working hard to avoid any impacts to healthcare, and in this, as you're our patients, we appreciate your patience. See what I did there? So yeah, thank you. Pay you later, sir. But if there are any changes in the future, we will make sure to let you know through Genesis, as well as whatever messaging we have for you. We understand specifically there's some questions about maternity care services. Our medical teams are working closely with the expectant families to ensure that they continue to receive safe, high-quality care through coordinated plans with trusted providers in the military health system. And lastly, kind of what I wanted to talk about is I wanted to do a plug for the MyCare Overseas app. So if you are referred out to the local network, to our wonderful German partners, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to kind of get translation services, but we have the MyCare Overseas app, which I have some flyers. You can scan the QR code to get it, which will tell you about any appointments that you have on the local network. If you have any translation services you need done or anything put into your record, or to see if it's been put into your record, that's kind of your one-stop shop to go. And lastly, for this piece is, if you've never been in a local German hospital, it can be a little daunting because one, they don't speak our language, but two, what I have to offer you is I have 4 members of my team, wonderful patient service liaison team that are local national professionals. Most of them are RNs by background, and they will come to your appointments. They will translate anything for you. They will be there to meet you, walk you through the hospital, make sure you show up. Great opportunity. So please take advantage of that if you're going to have to be a part of any of the services within the local national community. And again, you know, when we're talking about maternity services, there are a lot of wonderful Americans that have been born in our local national hospitals between Eder Oberstein, which Bruce Willis was born there, if you didn't know that. So, you know, not only great Americans that have been born there, but they've come back to serve in this community, and that kind of story is awesome. So Eder Oberstein, Nadarni in Landstuhl, and West Falls, we have wonderful relationships with those communities. So if you have any questions about that, come and speak with me afterwards. I'd love to kind of put you at ease when it comes to that. In terms of, if you'll jump to the next slide real quick. Okay, so some updates into the community. Sick call. So right now, sick call, which was kind of run by 421st in our facilities, has translated over kind of what's kind of happening. They're doing same-day appointments for sick calls. So my green suitors, active duty service members, you have the opportunity of doing same-day appointments. But if it is a real sick call, and you need to be seen in the morning before duty hours, Landstuhl is offering a sick call, and then obviously the emergency room is available. Care team, we understand 110 Special Forces Group is going to be increasing to our population here. So what we have done is we have gone ahead and hired a new care team that is going to support the increase that's coming in. So we'll have an additional provider and 2 additional LPNs, licensed practical nurses, that are going to be able to support the influx as we see the growth over the next couple of years. And then lastly, with that, optometry. We haven't had an optometrist in a while. So if you needed glasses or you needed anything with your vision, you had to go down to Landstuhl. As of now, we have a new optometrist. She's onboarding, and I believe March 16th, we're going to be able to start seeing appointments. And if you need an appointment for optometry here, call the appointment line. We're going to be able to start seeing and doing optometry appointments specifically with an optometrist. We'll move to the next slide, or back to the first. So one of the things that's going to be rolled out, it got a little delayed, it's going to be rolled out, is this thing called ambient listening. So with the world of AI, the Defense Health Agency is getting in on that. And so what it's going to happen is, what this offers you, if you opt in, is when you're talking to your provider. I know there's been a time you've come in and the provider is literally talking, they're typing and listening to you. They all listen, I promise. I promise they all listen, because I read the charts. What's going to happen now is, if you opt into this, what's going to be great is they're going to just sit and talk to you, and AI is going to capture everything, and then it's going to put it into notes, and then all those notes are going to be loaded into your file. So it's a better one-on-one communication face-to-face. If you opt in, you have the option to opt out if you want. You will be briefed when you come in for that. So one thing I want to put out before we talk vet, is the fact that we have been able to do wonderful. We've increased capacity for our mental health. And I can say mental health now because the DHA, Defense Health Agency, has changed the language from behavioral health to mental health. What old is new is again. We can't be canceled for it now. Okay, so we are increasing capacity at Baumholder to be able to see pediatrics when it comes to mental health. We are hiring teams to come in to be able to provide services to your children when it comes to anything mental health. We can, if it's an emergency, you can bring them in and we will get them to the right place. Long-term care is going to come once we're able to hire a team. But Landstuhl's pediatrics and mental health is still available through that. And then if we'll jump over to the veterinarian clinic, I don't own the vets, but I'm going to talk for Major Bellin as she's on TDY. Some things she wants to put out. Please register your pets. Her big thing was, in case there's an evacuation of any kind, and we're not seeing that, only registered pets will be included in evacuation procedures. So please do that. And then if you have somehow adopted any animal, pet, dog from Ukraine, Romania, Russia, and Cyprus, they are endemic countries in Europe, and they need to be registered, and they need to be examined and then revaccinated no matter what within 30 days of adoption if they come to here. And Last thing that she wanted to put out is please, please chip your animals. And she also wanted to put out that there's been an increase of pet abandonment within our area. We don't want that, so please chip. And then if you are in any way in a bind, please come talk to the community, especially the vet, because they can get you resources. And the last thing we want to see is any animals abandoned.
Good evening. My name is Ashley DeStajo. I'm the Combined Activities Manager for the Baumholder Exchange. First, I want to say thank you for all the patience everyone's had with us as we try to rebuild the store to better serve you guys. The roof, as you saw, is now fixed. We are working on the internal side of things and bringing in more exciting merchandise that the community's been requesting. Some exciting news that we have: we will start opening Monday through Saturday, beginning the 1st of April. I know that it's not Sunday yet, but we are trying to get there. We will also have early bird hours from 9 to 10. That means only our self-checkouts will be open. That means no customer service for that first hour, but it does allow you guys to come in a little bit earlier to get anything that you might need. We also have a few events that I just got notified or confirmation on that are not on the slides here. On the 13th of April, we'll have a UFC fighter, a special appearance from a UFC fighter, Dan Iga. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not a UFC fan, but if anybody does know who that is, he will be making a special appearance up here in Baumholder on the 13th of April. Times will be determined, so keep an eye out on our Facebook page as well as the Public Affairs page. And then on the 30th of April, we'll have a special event for the month of the military child. We'll have giveaways. I believe TKS is going to be raffling off a smartwatch for the kids. Not raffling, sorry, wrong word. We'll be giving away a watch, a smartwatch for the kids that sign up. For the food court, we have Dunkin' Donuts on the 12th of every month. They've got the 12 donuts for €15, and then we have a bunch of other specials. I just found out about them today, so we'll try to get that onto the Facebook page and the Public Affairs so that you guys can have that as well. Tomorrow morning, €1 espresso shots, if that's what you guys need for a pickup. Exciting news for the Express. We now have a Chops. We have not had a big launch for it, but it is now open and available for the community. This is subs, salads, and wraps, a good healthy alternative compared to our fast food options. They do make to order, so if you do have a special request or things that you can't have, let them know and they can make it for you on the spot. And then for our Wagon Wheel Theater, we do have the QR code outside of the theater, so you don't have to get out of your car to see what movies we have coming up. And we also have the theater packaging. So if you have homeschool students or you have birthday parties or anything like that, squadron events to boost morale, please reach out to me. My email address is right there at the bottom, and we will get you set up. Our package pricing is cheaper than the KMC, so we invite you guys to come. Don't tell them I told you. But you are welcome to reach out to me, and we'll try to get you guys set up so that you can have the best experience you can have here. If no one has any questions, that's pretty much all I have for the Baumholder Exchange.
Good evening. On behalf of the Baumholder Commissary and the Defense Commissary Agency, welcome. My name is Michael Gunn. I'm the Assistant Commissary Officer here at the Baumholder Commissary. Since our last town hall, I just wanted to put out that we have had a change in operational hours. We still are a 7-day operation, but we were operating on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 1900. We are now operating all 7 days, 9 a.m. to 1900. We are hoping that this extra hour in the morning will help the community if they want to participate in some daily activities earlier in the morning, that they can come in and do their shopping early, and we are on a consistent time basis with other commissaries in the area. Most of the commissaries in the area, Vogelway and Ramstein, are operating all at the same hours during the day for 7 days, and we are doing the same here now in Baumholder. If you noticed coming into the commissary, we no longer have the yellow and white labels to direct you to what the prices are. We now have installed ESLs, which are electronic sales labels. These labels will also show the items that are on sale, and have a digital readout of the prices, which also might be easier for some of our older retirees to actually read while they're shopping in the commissary. So that's something else that has been implemented here. And besides Ramstein, we were actually the first smaller commissary to receive these ESLs. Other commissaries in Germany are on the way to do the same. The WIC, Women, Infants, and Children's, the WIC e-cards are now fully implemented in the commissary. So WIC checks are no longer available, and we know that some patrons have a hard time reading them. So with the e-cards now fully engaged in the commissaries, WIC shopping will be easier for our customers to do. We are also always looking for employment opportunities for people to come work at the commissary. However, I'd also like to put out that we are also looking for vendor stockers and baggers. Vendor stockers are actually paid by the industry partners that partner with us in the commissaries. Baggers are actually only working for tips. But we do encourage, if you'd like to make extra money or you have extra time, units as well, to earn some extra money for the units. If you'd like more information on bagging and vendor stockers, please come talk to me or any of my management staff at the commissary, and we'll be happy to engage you and give you more information on that. As you may or may not know, twice during the year, the commissaries have our yearly sidewalk sales. The May 2006 sidewalk sale for this year will be canceled by DeCA. The reason for that is DeCA headquarters is looking to rebrand it and have the event known as something else. So with the upcoming event in September, that will not be a September sidewalk sale, that will be another event, but more information on how that's going to be determined and named, that information I will give at a later time. Other than that, I have no more information. You may be free to talk to me after the forum if you have any questions.
Here at Baumholder, we are a community center, right? So every USO has its own vibe, its own sort of local mission, but some things are always going to be the same. So in our centers, we are always going to have computers with CAC access. We are always going to have Wi-Fi services. We're going to have telephones so that you can call home. And that does mean internationally, right? So we have cell phones available, not cell phones, cordless phones available for folks coming in that can call locally to German businesses. If you need to contact a German number, we can also call anywhere in the world. So if you need to reach out to a family member, you need to call your bank because you forgot to switch something and you can't get that verification code, come see us. We can help you out. We have programs and services. We have lots of community events. Of course, our USO Transitions program, they're talking about rebranding that as well, speaking of a rebrand. But they connect people with educational opportunities, help with transitions, with, they were at the job fair earlier today. I don't know if any of you guys went out to the ACS job fair, but amazing team that help with a lot of different things. There's some duplicative services, but some things that are sort of uniquely our own. And then our reading program, amazing program worldwide. It does get a lot more use in other locations, particularly downrange. The primary focus of that is to connect service members when they are geographically separated from their little ones, right? You can record yourself reading a book. The USO will send a copy of that recording as well as a physical copy of the book to the child. But I encourage you in the Baumholder area to still consider how this program could work for you. Maybe you have nieces or nephews back home, right? Maybe you have younger sibling. If it's we have a lot of young service members here that might have younger siblings back home that they don't get to see. If you have kiddos here that don't get to see grandma and grandpa or their aunts and uncles, have them come do a reverse reading. We'll send a book to grandma and grandpa with a recording of the child reading to them, showing off how their reading skills are improving. It's a really great program. Last year I had the pleasure of going out to the Wetzel School Age Center for a day, and we just did a ton of readings, reverse readings with the little ones, and then they sent those books and those recordings back to their grandparents, their aunts and uncles, their older siblings. It was really, wonderful program. So we want to try and expand that a little bit here in Baumholder. So I just wanted to kind of put a plug in for the reading program. It's an awesome program. My contact information is here. You can always find me online as well. So let's go to the next slide. I'm not going to talk about everything here. The USO has a ton of core programs, things that we try to do in lots of locations around the world. One that I really want to mention is our special delivery baby shower. We do these twice a year in Baumholder, so we try to hit everyone either while they're currently expecting or up to 6 months postpartum. So this is a baby shower that we hold in the community in our center. Because a lot of families here, you're expecting, you're having children, you're away from home, you're away from your support system. So we want to connect those new moms with one another. We want to let them know that they have support. We do have connections with other resources in the community that we can teach you about. We've got a packet of information from the passport office about how to register your newborn and get their passport. So information like that, we're just trying to keep you connected and help guide you along the way. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about here? I don't need to touch on all of these. We do have a great canine program, little plug there. That started a few years ago. The USO recognized and realized that a lot of service members do miss their pets. They don't get to bring their pets with them when they're stationed overseas. Single service members living in the barracks, they don't get to have pets in the dorms. And so you can tell I'm an Air Force spouse. I just said dorms, not barracks. Sorry, let it slip. Don't kick me off the stage. But we are lucky enough at Baumholder that we do have a canine volunteer here. We also have a few down in Ramstein and in the Launchstoel area that we can bring up for events. I'm actually working with the library right now for their Storyland Gala. We're hoping to bring some canine volunteers to that event. Just to, again, boost morale, support the well-being of the service members. So I'm also a little biased because our local canine volunteer happens to be my dog, and I think she's pretty great.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tammy Muckenfoos, the Garrison Public Affairs Officer. First and foremost, the best way to stay in the know is by connecting with U.S. Army Garrison Rheinland-Pfalz's official Garrison communication platforms. We also highly encourage you to download the My Army Post app, which we refer to as MAPPA. That is your one-stop shop for official news and alerts. We've placed signs with QR codes near the entrances of this building here tonight, and a quick scan with your phone will take you directly to all the resources that you need. Here are a few things that my team and I have been highlighting recently that I want to bring to your attention. Security. Be mindful of operational security, which we call OPSEC, especially using social media. What you share can affect the mission and your family's safety. If you see something, say something. Use the Garrison Suspicious Activity Reporting tool to report any concerns. You can find a link to the new form that our AT officer, Emily Romer, just developed on our Facebook page and our community bulletin board. Please always have 2 forms of ID with you when you're coming through the installation gates. This helps our security teams keep all of our posts safe. Community feedback. You heard it earlier. The tenant satisfaction survey is currently open, and your feedback is vital and helps us improve housing and services. We've also left those comment cards at the entrance. Please write down notes and questions. We do want to hear from you. Services. Be aware that ongoing strike impacts may affect some Garrison services. In this area, specifically mentioned earlier, the shuttle bus services have been impacted, and the LRC has been updating the bulletin board and My Army Post app with any disruptions to those services. Emergency preparedness. We encourage everyone to have a plan for the unexpected. Emergency preparedness at home is just as important as it is on the job. Make sure you register for the Alert Mass Notification System. It sends critical alerts directly to your phone. U.S. Army personnel in Europe are required to register. You can find a link to that on the Garrison webpage. And remember, in case of an emergency while you're in Europe, you can always dial 110 or 112 from any phone to connect with emergency services. One last time, for the most reliable and up-to-date information, please follow official Garrison communication platforms. The QR codes posted around the building will give you direct access to everything that you, your teammates, and your families need. Thank you for your time and attention. Please stay vigilant and help us keep this community safe. Have a great evening.
Really appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Appreciate your patience. We went a little bit over, but you know we're here for as long as we need to be. And I offer, just like every time, if you didn't want to ask your question publicly, or if you've got a one-off that you want to talk to one of our teammates, all of my directors will stay here until the last person leaves, and we'll try to answer or address your issue. Sergeant Lopez, I got you personally. Right after this, we'll figure out what your situation is, and if it's a broader issue, we'll address it across the garrison for sure. Again, really appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate the leadership support. Sir, Sergeant Major, appreciate your presence here tonight as well. We're on standby if there's additional questions or concerns. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Thank you.